guys? It's your boy, Benny. We try as hard as we can to be positive on this show. We love Americans. We love the people who live in this country. We try as hard as we can not to take advantage of the less fortunate than us, especially people who have deadbeat fathers and horrible family lives. People who would write in their diary that their father went and showered with them without their consent, and maybe that's something that turned out to be a very, very bad thing. That is precisely what you are seeing here on the screen inside of the pages of Ashley Biden's diary. Ashley Biden wrote in her diary, according to the press reports and the people who reviewed that diary, that at a young age, she was sexualized. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with my dad, probably not appropriate. And then she goes on to blame many of the problems in her life on these extremely inappropriate sexual frying of the brain. And it was a very, very sad entry inside of a very, very sad episode where Ashley Biden left her diary saying that she was hypersexualized at a young age inside of a halfway house because she was getting over drug addiction. Okay, anyway. This has been covered ad nauseum in the media. The only reason we're bringing it back up is not necessarily to poke anyone who had a bad life in the eye, but because there has been a major update to this story. But first, ladies and gentlemen, Tucker Carlson.
Once again are the words from Ashley Biden's diary. Quote, "I've always been boy crazy," she wrote, "hypersexualized at a young age. I remember somewhat being sexualized with a family member. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with my dad, probably not appropriate." So Ashley Biden wrote this in the context of her struggle with sexual compulsiveness in later life. And she attributes those compulsions to the fact that her father took showers with her in a way that was, quote, not appropriate. Now, we have no reason to doubt that what she wrote is true. She did not write this for public consumption. She wrote it in a diary that, as you just heard, she accidentally left behind in a halfway house in Palm Beach, Florida in June of 2020 during the presidential race. The woman who took the room that she left, a single mother, found that diary under the bed. Now, if you are the father of daughters, ask yourself, is there any explanation for that behavior that is justifiable? And there's not. It's sick and it's horrifying. Now, Ashley Biden doesn't say how old she was at the time she showered with her father, but obviously she was old enough to remember doing it. And by the way, little kids don't take showers, they take baths. Inappropriate showering with your own daughter? If that's not child molestation, it is definitely close enough to justify a police visit. But the police have not visited Joe Biden. They're not investigating this. Instead, the FBI is breaking into the homes of journalists who brought it to public attention. And now, according to the Daily Mail, again, you just heard this, the feds are investigating a woman called Amy Harris, who had the misfortune of finding the diary. To be clear, none of these people committed crimes, certainly not federal crimes, and yet they are being harassed and...
So... Actually, this is the update on that story. Two have pled guilty to trafficking Ashley Biden's diary. How is that a crime? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's read. Two Florida residents pleaded guilty on Thursday for conspiring to traffic stolen goods in the selling of Ashley Biden's diary, the Justice Department said. This is a federal crime. This is a federal level crime. The criminal charges are the first to emerge in a federal investigation into how, prior to the 2020 election, the Journal reached the conservative video outlet Project Veritas. The group has said that it paid for the rights to publish The group has said it paid for rights to publish the diary, but never did so because it couldn't authenticate it. Contents from the diary later emerged on obscure conservative websites, so maybe it's not even real. And that's the update, ladies and gentlemen, because Project Veritas, under the new leadership of Hannah Giles, you'll notice this would be a James O'Keefe video regularly, but and you're all aware of my opinion on all of this. I think that Project Veritas did James O'Keefe extremely dirty, and maybe this is just a play to stay relevant, but they have released recordings of Ashley Biden confirming that this is her diary, and that is newsworthy. Watch.
And they found her diary, all of her clothes, luggage, pills. Anyway, diary is pretty crazy. I think it's worth taking a look at. It's not a joke. It's real. And I'd love to get it into your hands.
After years of public speculation and internal deliberation, We are finally releasing our conversation with Ashley Biden about her diary and other possessions. They were abandoned and later offered to Project Veritas.
Hi, is this Ashley Biden?
This is she. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, I just wanted, so I heard you have a few of my belongings, and so I was going to ask if you could please meet my friend, Eric, who is down in Del Rey, if you could meet him and get this up to him.
There's a diary here. It starts in January. It says, January at the end of a New York month, I'm sitting on a bed at the I building.
Yeah, so if you could just give everything that you have to Eric, that would be really great.
I don't want to give this to the wrong person. I mean, I want to make sure...
At this point, and I don't mean to... I don't want to have to get Secret Service involved in this, right? Because it's a whole process.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I am Ashley Biden. It is my stuff. So if you could just give all of that over, I would really appreciate it. I know you sent a picture to my husband with a camera and a few other things that are mine as well. So that would be really great. Where is a good place for him to meet you?
There's also this bag with luggage tags on it. And so is that bag, because there's all this stuff, is that bag yours too, Ashley?
Yes, it is.
So there it is. No more speculation. No more raids from the feds. Just straight up admission on tape that this is Ashley Biden's diary. So then where are the questions about the potential molestation charges inside of this diary? Were those made up? This was not for public consumption. This was a private diary written by a private person suffering, clearly, from a very, very bad home life. Maybe it's time for a FBI visit to Joe Biden. We won't hold our breaths. Listen to the rest of this bombshell report from Project Veritas.
After the phone call, this October 16th letter was sent from Project Veritas to Joe Biden's presidential campaign, asking the candidate for comment. October 23rd, a follow-up email from our then chief legal officer. And on October 29th, 2020, Ashley Biden's attorney, Roberta Kaplan, finally responded saying, quote, "This is insane. We should send to the SDNY." This is the FBI splash page showing the SDNY immediately open an investigation into Project Veritas on the very same day. And on November 8th, 2020, Project Veritas returns all Ashley Biden's abandoned items, including her diary, to Florida local law enforcement. You're watching Pre-Dawn Raids by the FBI on 3 Project Veritas journalists. They took place on November 4th and November 6th of 2021.
I'm sorry, so what is this regarding?
This is the search warrant. Open up.
My hands are
No, what I'm trying to say here is within your right to. Just once again, for our safety and for yours, we're going to have to sit with you.
Yeah.
You do not have to speak to them. You're not being detained. All right. That was just a question for our safety. Yeah, we're supposed to see. Okay, there's a computer here. Computer check? Yeah, are you comfortable on that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So there's another team coming? Yeah, so maybe we'll split up to like areas of the house.
Incidentally, New York Times national security reporter Mike Schmidt contacts Project Veritas journalist immediately following the raids.
A new wrinkle today in the investigation into the apparent theft of the president's daughter, Ashley Biden's diary. The New York Times reporting the FBI Saturday searched the home of James O'Keefe.
47 electronic devices, including our reporters' cell phones, laptops, and thumb drives, were seized.
So it was a shakedown operation via the weaponized Federal Bureau of Investigation. They sicked people on journalists. They sicked... I mean, it is wild, the time that we're living through right now. Just wild. And the disgrace that has been brought on these individuals. The people who screamed at the top of their lungs that Donald Trump was an enemy of the press and would destroy the First Amendment as we know it, and that journalists must stand together and unite, are sitting here defending the FBI raiding journalists. It is disgusting. It is despicable. Joe Biden still doesn't care. Just today, an interview dropped where Joe Biden was talking about how his daughter Ashley would sneak into his bathroom to write him notes in the mirror. This sick, depraved monster.
Family, when they want to get an important message to me, they tape it on the mirror of the bathroom. I'm serious, not a joke.
So you wake up in the morning and...
Yeah, no, it's on the mirror. I guess I was down early on. It's not going to be 10 years ago. I was down or something. And my daughter Ashley taped on she's a social worker, taped on my mirror. Happiness is something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to. And Dad, you have all those things.
Okay, well, the one thing you didn't have was your daughter's diary that describes a potential, alleged molestation by you in the shower. Super creepy, super wrong, super depraved. Why are we the only ones who care about this? Like, you'd think that people who cared about women's rights or about the appropriate relationships between adults and children would be screaming at high heavens here. But unfortunately, we have none of that. So it's up to us to bring you that news, dark, sick stuff. You deserve to know who's leading our country. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe to end the communism and the real repulsiveness that Joe Biden represents. See ya.